Hey, Pastor Tom here. Wanted to put together a little video for the life groups. Hopefully it helps you as you kind of work through the idea of developing a missional focus. So here we go. First thing is, what does missional mean? It's a word we've kind of thrown around. If you were part of the Tangible Kingdom primer, you probably you studied that, but maybe you're not. Maybe you're new to our church. Maybe you're new to our groups. Missional, first of all, mission comes from the same root word as missile. And I'm going to get a marker that works. So mission is where we get missional. Missional means to be on mission. And it comes from the same place as missile. Missile is something you target something with. My mission is that target, that thing that I've been called to do. If it's a military mission, we're called to, destroy that objective. Or if I'm on I'm a missionary, I'm on a mission to a certain people group, that kind of thing. So that's where it comes from. And a couple of points I want you to understand. First thing is that God is a God that's on mission. For God so loved the world, he gave his only son, that whosoever believeth him should not perish but have everlasting life. God's on a rescue mission for the whole planet. So God is on mission. The next thing I want you to understand is that he invites us to join him in that mission. And that's really what being missional about, is paying attention to what God's doing and inviting us into. Because this is something, being missional is something we do with God, not something we do for God. I want you to remember that as you develop your missional focus as a group. What is God calling us to do with him, not what are we going to do for him? And lastly, so God is on mission. God invites us. We do with, not for. And the last one is that this is not a side project. It's the eternal project that all else in our life aligns with. It's an everyday life kind of thing. Sometimes we can treat something like a missional focus like, I live my life, and then on Tuesday night I go to life group, and once in a while we do this little project, and I kind of feel good because I did a little God thing. No, God calls us to, he's on mission all the time, and he's calling us to be on mission all the time. And in our life, whether you're in full-time ministry or whether you're a computer programmer or a farmer, whatever you're doing, our life needs to align with the mission of God. That's what he's calling us to as Christians. So we need to think about it not as a side project, but how is this mission going to, how's my life going to in ways align to that? Does that mean giving things up? Does that mean changing things a little bit? Yeah, it very well might. I don't think you can find a whole lot of people in the Bible and all those Bible stories where God said, here's what I want you to do, but just keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to change a thing. God doesn't work that way. And we got to decide up front, are we going to be on mission with him or not? So those are some things I wanted you to understand about what it means to be missional. I want to also share with you, and this is also one of the grow tools, but kind of the triangle of up, in, and out. And this is all about relationship and calling and growth and all of those things. The idea of up is really our relationship with God. How is that relationship growing? How am I growing in my relationship with God? How am I devoting time towards that connection? In is our relationship with other Christians. So that's a lot of what happens in life group and grow groups, is we're connecting with other Christians, we're building those relationships, we're encouraging one another, building one another up. But there's a third dimension. This is the missional dimension. That's the out. Out is our relationship with others who aren't Christians, so others in the world. And we're called to have balance. I mean, there are churches that are out of balance. Maybe they do the up part and the in part really good, but they don't reach out at all. There can be life groups or individuals that do up and in, but not out. But the problem is If you're not doing the out, which God commands, that's going to affect your up. And it's certainly going to make your in a little stale. Or maybe some people are up and out, but they're like, I'm out, I'm doing evangelism, but I don't have to go to church. Again, that's going to hinder you. So the thing we need to realize is we need balance in the up, in and out. And does that mean we always, every day, we do exactly the same amount of time of each? No. But over the course of your life, is there balance, or are you neglecting one area? And so the missional part is primarily about out. But the thing I will say about it, particularly in the context of a life group or a grow group, when the out's going on, the up and the in get stronger. Because when you're going out there, that's the scary part, and there's a level of dependence and obedience and listening to God that happens when you're fully engaged in the out, when you're being missional, that isn't there otherwise. And so your up gets stronger because it has to. I mean, think about the missionaries and the stories you hear and the relationship that they have with God, because they need to. In the same way, the in is much stronger with an out. And I call this kind of the band of brothers kind of thing. I discovered that going on a mission trip and serving together with people, in 12 days I became closer with those people than I had with people I'd been in a small group with for months. Why? Because when you're on mission together, it's more than just kind of a social thing. It's a team thing. You become dependent on one another, interdependent with one another. So when your life group or your church has an out, you're functioning like a band of brothers. I think of the movie Saving Private Ryan, where they went to rescue this guy because all 5 of his brothers had died in the war, and when they finally get him and say, "We're taking you home, son, because all your brothers are dead," he says, "No, I'm staying here because these," and he's talking about the guys in his battalion, "these are the only brothers I have left." And so there was a bond that happens between soldiers that sometimes is as strong as a bond that happens between brothers, maybe stronger, because of that mission aspect. And so I encourage you to be thinking in your group about up, in, and out, and recognizing the value of being on mission. So that's kind of a little of the undergirding of what does it mean to be missional. Next video, we're going to look at what it means to develop a missional focus. Thanks a lot.